stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living. Not the Bloods, not the Crips, but the KKK, the CIA. But if you only have love for your own race, then it only creates space to discriminate, which can only generate hate, which then you're bound to get irate. People killing, people dying, children hurt, I hear and feel them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Or will you type away and monetize the other cheek? Father, 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 help us. Send some guidance, like right here, not up above. 'Cause where is the love? Here is the love. Here is the love, the love, the love. Do. Okay. I think the main problem is actually literally like the way that artistic currents or the currents of entertainment, the way that that is being monetized and governed and regulated is the problem. It's copyright laws. It's honestly being able to like sue somebody for creating something that like is inspired by you. Like, just make something cooler. I'm sorry. Just make something cooler. Don't limit somebody else's creations just because it includes fragments of yours. Take it as a challenge to make something they could never even figure out how to fragment and extract for art. So no, I don't do NDAs. I'm not gonna do any of that shit in my life. I don't find that conducive to my creative process. I'd rather just take it as a challenge to outdo myself, especially because if somebody's using my stuff, then that might mean that I might be really only able to truly be challenged and compete with myself in what it is that I'm trying to create. But that'd be founder shit, you know? Sometimes you just gotta be a pioneer. Sometimes I really do be out here pioneering. I'm pioneering. Pioneering 3.1459. That's all I know, and I don't know if that's even right. But I know 3.14. I never memorized it because I don't see the point in purposely trying to memorize anything. I am never trying to purposely memorize a single goddamn thing except for people's names. But that's not always hard. It's just I'll remember the name, but I won't always remember what face it's connected to. So it's I always have to make sure not necessarily to remember things, but to essentially do the cognitive version of habit stacking. So in order to build habits faster, you stack one habit on top of a habit that you already have. It's like a phase shift thing. But that way when they're linked, your body just enters a flow into it, and then you don't have to remember necessarily because you're building it based off of the current memory protocols already in place and evolving those rather than trying to just that doesn't make any sense. There's got to be the Now what that looks like can be totally incredibly cool. I'm going to walk through a wall one day, and I know it. I didn't know that till now, but I'm walking through a fucking wall one day. Because I understand conceptually how to make it happen. If I can vibrate my voice at the exact same frequency at which the freaking wall is vibrating in the same geometrical structure. I can mirror it. And when you mirror something perfectly, all of a sudden, both reflections are confused as to which one's real and which one's the mirror. So then any slight movement will make the other one move. Because they need to be able to feel if that's their limb moving or if it's not their limb moving. Tu comprends? Tu te comprends? Tu te comprends, monsieur? Monsieur, tu te comprends? Je voudrais un juste des pommes, s'il vous plaît. And I mean that. That's my favorite French sentence to say. I literally just always want apple juice, please. Like, je voudrais un juste des pommes, s'il vous plaît. Sometimes I drink it in place of water because sometimes water, water's literal like molecular structure is so sensitive to your environment. It is always going to absorb what is happening in its vicinity. And so I don't like what the memory structures inside of the water anywhere near me right now feels like. Yep. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm pretty sure I was gonna go with this. Oh, I wanted to sing that Anthony Kiedis song. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like I'm my only friend. The city I live in, the city she loves me. The loneliest I've ever have been. And I'm not ever gonna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. I'm being taken all the way. Yeah, yeah. I drive on these streets 'cause nobody's out here. Talk to the city. She's my only friend. The city of angels. The cities of lovers. All somehow lonelier than even when he wrote this song. Bum, 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 bum. But I'm not ever gonna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. You're gonna take me all the way. Yeah, yeah. I'm not ever gonna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. You're gonna take me all the way. Yeah. I refuse to allow myself to feel like I don't have any friends. 'Cause I think I might speak bird now. 'Cause with the birds I shared this lonely view for too long. I made sure you saw the scar tissue that I wish you saw. Was sarcastic, I Mrs. Know-it-all. I closed my eyes 'cause I couldn't hear the you should nots. And with the birds I've been sharing this lonely view. Yeah. Bloodlust in a bathroom stall. Close your eyes, and I tried to kiss you, 'cause with the birds I've shared this lonely view. With the birds I've shared this lonely view. Yeah, yeah. Come back to life, dear Greenie. Come back to life, rooted strong. Come back to life, dear Greenie. Come back to life, standing tall. Looking at you feels like a sunny day. Your green eyes provide the shade, so we can play the day away. I wonder how was it that you were made. Please stay, stay. How is it that you give so much life, also feel so lackluster and unalive? You have no reason to dwindle, release your strife. What can we give you? What can we do so that you thrive? Please stay, stay. I acknowledge and feel all emotion trapped inside, yeah. Oh, I think my sadness and feel, and I let it slide. I release all emotions that no longer serve me, yeah. So I can step forward aligned with the life I dream. Oh, so deserving. Oh, so deserving. All humans freed. I trust all the work I've done's only added to my sanity. I know that every inhale I take brings more love and beauty into humanity. I can drop into harmony and all answers I can remember. I connect to humanity and remember we're all family members. All that I perceive, I'm also deserving. Oh, so deserving. I am solidified in replaying out waves of innocent imagination. My worth is measured by the weight of my beliefs, not some new station. I'm the one who designs This life my body keeps on believing and breathing. So I can choose the players based off of our giving and receiving. 'Cause I know that all that I believe. Maybe I don't know that then. I know that all I believe. I'm also deserving. Oh, so deserving. All that I believe. I'm so deserving. Oh, so deserving. Oh, we're building a new world that allows for our freedom. All humans free. We're all so deserving. We're all so deserving. I'm singing a song that beautifies us all. In the ashes of those who've crucified their fall, I've got to solidify our beauty, and only death can. Illuminate. No, not. Only death can solidify, 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 codify, collidify. Bride to die, solidify, be to die, D to lie, D to lie, D to lie, D to lie. Did a lie, a lie. Did a lie, say did a lie. Say did a lie. Did a lie. Solidify. Did a lie. Let a lie. A little I. Okay, that could work. Who texted me when I said that? I've got to solidify our beauty. And only death of a little lie can make the truth remain. Gotta crucify our beauty. In order to solidify our beauty. Crucify, solidify. I'm glad I didn't die. Oh, I've got to crucify our beauty. 'Cause only death can solidify any truth to be remained. But then you forgot to die. And a new thing can be proclaimed, exclaimed, never again explained. To death, stripped of enchanting language. You know what? This is actually something I want to talk about. one of the things that I learned most from one of the 4 original founders of the Crips, the gang, the Crips. His name is Melvin, and one of the things that Melvin taught me was he would talk to me in depth about all of his experiences when he would be in prison. He was locked up for like 30 years, I think. I don't remember. But so don't fact check me on that if you care. But he would describe to me in detail all of the hours that he would spend in isolation, completely just can't move, nothing around you, all white walls, like the intense isolation that is, and especially in the LAPD prison systems, fucking 1970s, 1980s. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not ready to talk about the police chief. I'm not ready to do it yet. One of these days. I think I'll have to sit down with him face to face and like understand it more, because I feel like I only really learned about this all, about maybe his possible involvements in these things and in these systems after my relationship, like, and familial bond solidified with him. So, yeah. I want to understand it I just have an opportunity to understand a very good story from multiple sides, is what I have to say. I have everything I need to be able to get like just the most fucking excitingly multidimensional perspective, primary sourced, first case witnessed, evidentiary, like something that's not a matter of proof. What am I talking about? The Crips. Okay, yeah, so you're talking about isolation, and it's like the only thing that kept him like there, and I can relate to this. Like, this is exactly how I experienced my childhood, trying to fall asleep at night when my mother would be working nights and the cult sent away my father, and I would be an elementary school kid. And I didn't know how to self-soothe. And I was home alone at night, and I didn't know that was abnormal. I didn't know anything. So what did I do? I wouldn't sleep for days. And I'd be in completely all white walls, just like Melvin being in the all white isolation fucking cell of the prison. And like, it's probably why he could actually genuinely communicate those experiences to me and what he gained from them, because I don't know if I would have been able to survive the memories of my childhood if fucking Melvin Farmer hadn't experienced that and like bestowed upon me how to actually like fucking turn that kind of pain into power for everybody's gain. Around the same time that I was with Melvin, we were also with this man named O'Malley, who's, you know, Sony Music, that area. And, but old. And he told me that I should be proud and I should be excited about the amount of pain I've experienced, that he could just somehow sense it. And that it's because, he said it like this, you get paid for your pain, baby. You just gotta submit the invoice. You just gotta go get your paycheck. That maybe if we stop trying to heal pain, if we stop trying to prevent pain, and if we start actually optimizing our, kind of like when we would do earthquake drills and like practicing those, what to do in an emergency like that, so that your body has some sort of muscle memory for that. If we can apply that same concept to like drills, running drills or doing standards, to being able to pinpoint the source of pain and the possible things that it could represent and like how it happened. If you can figure out how something happened, you can reverse engineer that to undo it. That's how you kind of figure out anything. So it's more important to figure out like, okay, what is the exact like actual like power dynamics happening that put this situation into existence? Who are the players involved? Let's review the game tapes. What plays were at play? I'm thinking about, you know, like high school football playbooks, like Red Santa, like versus purple hippopotamus. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I think that's either my dad's second or third favorite Christmas song, in case anybody wanted to know. His first one is, of course, ba-dum-ba-bum-bum, because he played the little drummer boy in a play one time when he was young. His parents were there. I don't know if he ever... Wow, I'm just realizing that was probably the only time he ever really got to experience both of his parents. Witnessing him in that, like, free flow of expression without any sort of expectation or heavy burdens of responsibility. That's why he loves that song so much. I don't know, for some reason this month, the past couple days, I've just been, like, just being, like, gifted ideas of what to get my dad for Christmas. Oh, it's because his birthday is coming up. That's why. June 7th, 6-7. Kumbaya, my lord. Oh yeah, but what Melvin said is the only way he was able to, like, do, like, it wasn't hard after he figured out if he used his voice to entertain himself. I know why the fucking caged bird sings, goddammit. And so does he. But his singing is a little bit different. Because he didn't have books or anything in that, he would just repeat to himself words. Every word that he had ever heard, he would just remember it. And he would play with those words and try and, like, figure out them as, like, some sort of, like, Sudoku puzzle in order to, like, build his own version of the dictionary in his head. And then he would go and read the dictionaries and compare and contrast and see, like, so that he could be able to understand what any sounds meant. I don't know if he knows that. That's what he did, but that's what I wrote down in my notes. So that he can actually be able to build some sort of pattern recognition engine inside of him using prison isolation cells as a good time to build a pattern recognition to be able to actually define, to some extent, any noise. That's what he did. Because it's literally all he had. And, like, that's what I did in my childhood, too. The only way I would ever fall asleep, like, be in 3rd grade, and I wouldn't have slept for 3 nights, and I wouldn't even know that that's, like, wrong. And then it would get to the point where, like, I would be full on, like, sobbing and shaking violently because I just wanted to go to bed so badly, and I didn't know how. And what's ironic is the cult that I was raised in had my mom fucking working nights sleep training babies. And then they just let me be there. Like, they knew I was being unsupervised, just alone at home. Like, the cult knew that. Why would they break up a young family with a baby and then have the baby be isolated and then put the mother with a bunch of other babies? Do you know how little logic there is in that? Like, truly. I don't want to assume nefarious intentions with that, but, like, my imagination apparently has some room to impress me still. So, we'll figure that one out. And I invite you to help. We need to stop over-focusing on our intelligence quotients and start redirecting that same kind of, like, pride that we place and prestige that we place on somebody's IQ to a different kind of an IQ, their imagination quotient, which I have been trying to model a good enough baseline way to test that, I guess. Like, I've just been trying to, like, synthesize what data is and isn't useful and how we can ask it or collect it in the most fun, but also, like, condensed way. Okay. I really like just filming myself and doing this because it just gives me permission to really, like, talk aloud. but like talk aloud in direction to like multiple people at once that I would never ever actually like randomly hit up with. Like, I just think about people, and then I think about things in connection to them based off of like the passions and ideas that they shared with me during my time with them. And then I end up like kind of having a little bit of a mini Socratic seminar in my head with their different ideas. And then sometimes I bring in people like parasocially, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of able to facilitate that. Oh yeah, but the same thing that Melvin did with his voice, that's what I would do with my voice. I would just write lullabies. That's why, like, I'm not necessarily I don't know any music theory. Like, I mean, I have my own music theories that I have self-researched and, like, actually developed on my own from, like, the age of 5. So I have my own music theory, but it does not match whatever the fuck is being taught. But it's because I'm not trying to play other people's songs. Does that make sense? I don't want to learn how to play other people's songs before I learn how to really play and feel mine. Because how can I trust what I'm feeling if I don't know how to play and feel my song before trying to do that with other people's songs? That's just like, I mean, like, good luck with that, but like, I didn't find any fruit there. Actually, I really don't know if I've ever, one time in my life actually, about a year and a half ago, when I was dating Dave, he tried to teach me to play the song Lost Boy by Ruth B. I am a lost boy from Neverland. And I literally, like, could not, my body was in such an intense state of fear. And it brought me back to when I was 3 years old and I was first brought to the church that I was at. And I remember I was, like, in this, like, room. There was the primary room, and I was there with the primary teacher piano player. She was just this old elderly woman, Sister Litwack was her name. And I remember her and I played the piano, and I literally, like, I think that was, like, my first experience without, like, outside known, like, authority, or, like, my parents, I guess, with just, like, creating something, I guess. Does that make sense? Like, that was my first time creating sound on purpose. Like, I would use my coloring books, or, like, I would use my words. And, like, I remember my mom was, like, really fucking pissed. And I remember Sister Litwack, like, really, really trying to convince my mom to get me to take piano lessons. And, like, I remember she would not stop trying to, like, tell me how amazing and how, like, I don't know, I think she might have, I don't know what was necessarily true, but I remember the effect of it. And the effect of it is that I felt like I could be a fucking prodigy. Like, that I didn't need, I don't know, she didn't, like, teach me. She just watched me with, like, this Mormon, like, trust in the Holy Spirit and the miracles of God. That's why I liked being raised in Mormonism. Not necessarily the sub-cults of the Mormonism that I was in, but, like, Mormonism as a bigger umbrella was a fun religious choice in America, because Mormons believe that you can see dead people. They believe that, like, dead presidents can just show up in your room and start talking to you about the Constitution. Like, that happens in DNC, probably, like, 89 or something. I have no idea. They believe that you can, like, just understand Egyptian hieroglyphics. They believe in treasure hunting. Like, if you really study Joseph Smith, the things that he, like, is so fucking convinced are real are not at all talked about by, like, the modern day Mormon prophets. Because, of course, I think it might have been in the 70s when a Mormon prophet was brought on to the Supreme Court for essentially Mormons have $100 billion in offshore accounts, and we only even know about that, okay? And they were also trying to get Mitt Romney. Like, they have so much, the separation of church and state literally does not exist in Utah, because Utah is the governing people, the people in charge of the government, those people, 80% of them are Mormon. And it makes sense, because 80% of the population is Mormon. But if the prophet asks any of them or tells any of them to do anything, you do not have a choice, because from a very young age, you are literally repeating every single Sunday a little song called Follow the Prophet. Follow the prophet, follow the prophet, follow the prophet. He knows the way. And then Jonah was a prophet. First one that we know. It's just a song about all of the awful things that happen when you don't follow or listen to the prophet. So like, fucking exactly what Jeffrey Epstein was doing is exactly what the Mormon prophet is doing. I'm not saying it's with the same intentions or anything like that, but I know that I've been in a basement, in an all-white basement, held upon 12 golden bowls in a fucking marble bowl, being ritualistically drowned by elderly men. And that's just like a normal Mormon teen experience. That's not even like a cult inside of a cult thing. That's like a, if you grew up Mormon, you have been forced to act as a vessel for dead peoples to be resurrected, baptized, and then sent back up. It's like they put a dead person in you and then exorcise it out of you. It's a whole thing. What? Like, it doesn't... I mean, I loved it, but that's because I almost drowned when I was 3, and whenever I almost die from something, I don't become scared of it or avoid it. I start, like... I get, like, a little bit high off the fact that I didn't die off of it, that I didn't die, and then I'm like, wait a minute. What if this changes everything we know to be true? Why did I even think that that would be a death-inducing situation? And then I start, like, you know, really testing the limits of death, because, well, there's all sorts of reasons to really get into that, but I would like to say it is because I'm an engineer of aliveness. In order to engineer aliveness, you must be able to understand the reverse engineered version of it. Death. Take me to the brink of death, my lord. Then just take me till you wake me from this bad dream. Justin's no longer going down, 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 no. Baby, 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 oh. Now I'm thinking about, it doesn't matter, Edward Snowden. What does he have to, It's because I also have this same linguistic thing in my brain. You say the word, like, currency, and in my head, I'm like, the current sea? But, like, linguistically and semantically placing those together actually enhances the definition of both. So, make your connections. Okay, now I'm hungry. I have no idea what I talked about in this video. I only came on here to fucking sing a goddamn Red Hot Chili Pepper song. But maybe this was the true song. Maybe I have unearthed the secret of the Red Hot Chili Pepper, just like Joseph Smith did with the golden plates. I like that, actually. Oh my gosh, instead of an Angel Moroni coming to me, it was Anthony Kiedis when I worked at Sun Life that one time. He's the Angel Moroni. Okay, this is going to be healing for me. This is why I go into ridiculousness, because it's healing another thing that was done to me. So then I have to make it funny and creative to take my power back from it, and also to order to understand the engineering of it, to prevent myself from accidentally inducing the same thing upon another. Or myself again. Okay, bye.